Angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you guys are here and I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. Today's video, you guys, is what absolute nightmares are made of. We are going to be diving into a story that was shared of a woman who moved into a rented home with her husband and 2 kids and would later discover that their landlord was living inside of their walls for the months that they were living there. And the way that they discover it is disturbing and absolutely chilling. So sit back, relax, maybe turn a light on, and let's get into this story. Actually, before we get into today's video, I would just very quickly like to thank today's video sponsor and game changer, BlendJet. This year, I've been really experimenting with new healthy recipes and smoothies and protein shakes, and my BlendJet 2 has been an absolute game changer. BlendJet 1 was the original portable blender that was created back in 2018, and BlendJet 2 is the newest model that is even more powerful than the first. It's a cordless portable blender you can use with any USB cord, which makes it so convenient, especially for those of us who travel a lot. Even if we can't right now, this is a game changer for me, especially going forward. Not only can you take it absolutely everywhere with you and bring it on the go, but you get 15 plus blends off of one single charge, which makes it especially convenient if you are someone on the go. It's also water resistant, so you can make a cocktail while you're by the pool. Oh, heavenly. So make sure that you guys click the link down in my description and use my code HaileyReeseJet, and you'll get 3 free jetpacks with the purchase of a BlendJet. So thank you so much to BlendJet for sponsoring today's video and making my life so much easier. And with that being said, now let's get into this absolutely chilling story. So this is titled, "My Landlord Has Been Living in My Walls," which it gives me the heebie-jeebies even thinking about this. I actually not too long ago watched a movie about a guy who had Airbnb rentals, I think it was, and he had installed cameras, secret cameras into them. This is a made-up story, I'm assuming, but he would watch people and stream it on the dark web, and it just made me view things in a totally new light. So the idea of your landlord living in the walls just, it really freaks me out. So let's get into it. What I'm about to share with you is something I thought would only happen as a movie plot. It sounds like some Hollywood film meant to make you look over your shoulders and never rent from a sketchy landlord. Except this isn't a movie. This was our life. And I'm sharing it with you to remind you that if something feels really off, it most likely is. My husband and I were looking for places to rent that were big enough for our expanding family. Our 4-year-old twins were getting into everything, and the 1-bedroom apartment we shared felt small, to say the least. Ivory and Isabella were our greatest gifts, and we wanted to give them the best life we possibly could. We started touring place after place, and nothing felt right. We were honestly starting to get discouraged, and were worried that we wouldn't find our perfect place. Until we found what felt like the one. It was a 4-bedroom home with a big fenced-in backyard. It had a pool, big beautiful windows, and even better, it was in our price range. The home looked like it had been remodeled and was everything and more than what we were looking for. My husband and I went home that night and were completely beside ourselves. How was a place that big and beautiful in our price range? A pool, space for a home office, a backyard for our girls to run around, play, and grow in, and affordable enough for us to save money to soon buy our own home. 2 of the biggest red flags were something we discussed right away. We never saw our landlord. Everything was handled through our real estate agent and signed, sealed, delivered. We thought it was odd that our landlord wouldn't want to see us and meet us before allowing us to live in their home. It was so confusing. All we were told was that our landlord would be a male, that he would expect rent to be paid on the first, and that he wanted a family in the home. I do have to interrupt here and say that I would think it was a little bit strange if my landlord didn't want to meet me if I was going to move into a space. But I mean, if this is something that you do, if you're somebody who just rents out properties, then I could understand you just wanting people with good credit, good records, and if you want a family in the home, great. but I did find that weird too. The second red flag was the price. Nothing was being listed for this price, offering all that this had. We felt it was too good to be true, but we didn't want to miss out on the chance. We also found it odd that our realtor said he specifically wanted to rent to a family that had children, but we assumed that was just because he wanted it to be a family home. My husband suggested that perhaps he has renovated with a family in mind. We talked it over a glass of wine as our girls napped. My husband and I both couldn't shake a weird feeling that we had, but we knew that we would kick ourselves if we didn't jump on the opportunity to live in this beautiful home. We called the realtor and told her that we would take it. Moving in, it was everything we could have dreamt of. It felt like a fresh start, a big step for our little family. I remember laying my head down that night thinking that this had to be God. I had such a grateful heart. Little did I know the devil was closer than I could have even imagined. At first, it felt like the home was truly ours. Our landlord seemed to be a breeze. We sent him our payments and he'd thank us, and life went on. I did think it was weird that I had no idea who we were renting from. But we created this image of him in our minds. We pictured a successful man who bought and flipped houses, and that he didn't care much for interaction, just his money. Our girls loved the house, and spring turned to summer. We spent our days out by the pool. Our life was incredible, and we were truly thriving. I should say, though, we had noticed when moving in that we would hear strange little noises coming from inside of our walls. We thought that we had a rodent problem, so we reached out to our landlord. He said that though the house looked so modern, it was actually quite old, that the walls creaked and banged every now and then, and not to worry about it. We got used to the noises, but I should say they were very obvious. One day, though, we started hearing someone outside of our house at night. My husband went outside every time, but no one ever showed up. The occurrences started happening a lot, though. I started feeling uneasy. Between the noises in the walls and the creeper outside, I started to feel a little unsafe. We decided to buy cameras for the twins' room, so whenever I woke up and wasn't feeling safe, I could check on them to make sure they were okay. Night 3 of the cameras was the absolute worst. I woke up to strange noises and didn't feel good. I grabbed the monitor to check on the twins, and that's when I saw a man in the twins' room. He looked up and saw the camera and ran out of frame. I shot up out of bed and ran to the twins, but there was no sign of any break-in in the house. My husband almost didn't believe me until I replayed the camera footage. He was enraged and called the police immediately. While giving our statement, the police were asking if there was anyone we could think of. We didn't have any suspects, but we told them everything that had been happening. This resulted in them investigating the house and finding a hidden door behind one of the standing mirrors. Our landlord had been living inside of our walls. All of our mirrors were see-through on his end. He'd been living in our walls and watching us for months. Turns out, when he remodeled the house, he added secret tunnels through the walls that led to a room he was living in. He'd only been leaving in the night and was watching us through the day, yet we had no idea. All the noises we heard were him all along. The creep was in there the whole time. I felt so violated and disgusted, especially since he was in my twins' room. We have no idea what he was planning to do, but it made me sick to my stomach looking back on the requirements of the tenants. Children. Thank God we put the camera in our girls' room before anything could happen. The girls were checked over and talked to, and luckily nothing physically happened to them. But we aren't so sure that it would have stayed that way. This whole experience has changed our view on things that are too good to be true, because this was exactly that. I will never fully trust again, and honestly still lose sleep over it. It was a disturbing and devastating situation, to say the least, and I'm so glad he was caught. We are still awaiting on the court ruling, but I hope that this man rots. Turns out deranged people don't just exist in movies after all. And that's the end of the story. First of all, I have to say, the emotional trauma that would come from an experience like that, just knowing that your private conversations, you changing, your children was all just being watched the entire time, and for what purpose? It's so deeply disturbing. And when I read this, it gave me, like I said, the actual heebie-jeebies. Like I was like, I can't even fathom what that discovery would be like. And especially to see that he was inside of your little girl's room in the middle of the night and then noticed the camera and fled out of frame is just so scary. Like, what were his intentions? What was he gonna do? Like, I wanna know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this particular story and case, because I don't know what to make of it, and it never ceases to amaze me how disturbing some people can be out there in the world. Like, I wanna believe that the world is all sunshine and rainbows and good, but I have to be a realist and realize that where there is light and good, there's always darkness and bad, and that there are bad people out there. So I would love to know all of your guys' thoughts, opinions, and theories on this particular story. And let me know down in the comments below. I'll be reading through and responding to all of your guys' comments. So definitely comment down below. And that is it for today's video. Once again, I would just love to thank BlendJet for sponsoring today's video. As I mentioned, you guys, make sure you right now go down there, click that link down in the description, and use my code HaileyReeseJet to get 3 free jetpacks with the purchase of a BlendJet. And thank you so much to BlendJet for changing my smoothie game, changing my protein shake game, and my margarita game. And thank you for sponsoring. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would seriously love it more than you'll ever know if you go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.